So SacAnime had announced that Vic Mignogna was going to be at their con. Well, they got attacked by people within the industry, voice actors, and now they've caved. Like, I'm not even kidding. They've completely caved. This is absolutely ridiculous. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have it better tomorrow. Oh, another day. We hear of Vic getting invited to a con, and then the next thing you know, he gets canceled yet again. I mean, seriously, cancel culture is the absolute worst. And SacAnime has officially just canceled Vic from their convention because not just of the Twitter appearance, not them just going around, complaining about things like they usually do, but also because the voice actors in the industry went after him and said, hey, look, we're going to boycott your con in the future if you have him there. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to take a look at this because some of the Puritans were celebrating this. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. And, SacAnime did talk about this. And this is their, whole statement right here. So we're going to take a look at this. So this is what SacAnime had stated. Unfortunately, we have had to cancel Vic from the convention as of this morning. The onslaught of negative posts wasn't the only reason, it was also the call for boycott of our conventions from other voice actors, agents, and managers. If we brought him to the show, we would have had many already pull out of appearing at our shows because we announced him and we're going to have him. We had hosted Vic many times over the last 20 years or so, and had a great working relationship with him in the past. A show we assisted with was even the show SacAnime, the weekend when everything went down and his panel speaking about it happened. Now, see, the one thing that always goes on here is these VAs, they always, try to find some way to take Vic down, which is absolutely disgusting. Thing is that they've always claimed, like, oh, look, there's evidence. But there was never any evidence. There's never been anything that's ever come out to prove that Vic ever did any of the terrible things that they stated, and then ever leave the man alone. They're always going to keep gunning for him, and they're never going to stop. That's the disgusting thing about how this works. It's disgusting how cancel culture is. I hate cancel culture. It is the absolute worst. If anything needs to be canceled, it needs to be cancel culture itself. That's the only thing that needs to be canceled, realistically. But we cannot as a show lose what we have built up since the mid-1980s by having this all happen now. We thank you for your message and want to have him at our show, but we cannot have him appear at our show. So yes, we have had to withdraw him from appearing at our show. Now, this is actually by, the industry pressure itself. And, of course, here they are going again, just like, well, we'll back away if you have Vic there. How dare you have him there? Ah! That's how they're acting. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. If anything, it's just a grudge that they're holding, and that they're going to hold this over anyone else's heads that will have them. That's what they're doing here. This is a disgusting tactic to pull, but at the same time, by canceling Vic, well, what's going to happen with these cons is that they're going to lose money and reputation because they went and canceled someone that's innocent, that has not had any evidence to prove anything that they claim that he's done. I mean, without the evidence, he's an innocent man. And so far, I have not seen any evidence of Vic doing any of these terrible things they tried to claim that he did. This is disgusting. And these showrunners just get harassed every time by these VAs, by people on Twitter. It's disgusting how they act whenever a show announces that they're going to have Vic. It's just awful. And, they try to just set out to ruin his life. And it's horrible. Like I said, cancel culture is something I absolutely despise. I hate it with a passion. I really do. That's unfortunate. I will have to let my thousands of followers know not to attend your event. We are sorry that you feel this way and feel that course of action is the best in this situation. When you bend the knee to these people and don't listen to what the fans want and reinforce cancel culture, it only emboldens them to keep doing it. We will speak with our wallets and support events that are for the fans. The fans are who show up, pay for these events, Compare Vic's line to what Marchie / Real, etc. Go woke, go broke. That response is great because, yeah, once you get woke, you go broke. And that's exactly what's going to happen to SacAnime if they keep this up, because fans are not going to support this. They're not going to sit over here, and they're not going to enjoy that. And here's something I want you to keep in mind. They have Chris Sabat, of all people, that's going to be at SacAnime this year. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what's the big issue with Chris Sabat? I mean, of course, I'm sure everybody knows that Chris Sabat obviously was one of the people who definitely stood against Vic. I mean, that's already a problem enough as it is. I mean, Chris Sabat is a hack. But thing is also by SacAnime's own words, by their own ideology within this, it's kind of funny that they wouldn't have Vic, but yet they'll have Chris, when Chris Sabat has apparently been accused of having some bad behavior in exchanging roles for some spicy favors. Now, that's interesting because, Vic was accused of things that there's no evidence to prove that he's ever done. Then they're just like, no, we're going to cancel him. We're going to get him out. But yet, Chris Sabat, who's also been accused of some bad things, they let him be there. Now, isn't that kind of funny? You can see the hypocrisy here with SacAnime because, if it works with Vic in that way, you would think that it would work with Chris Sabat or any other person for that matter that has been accused of things. So, where's the hate mob for Chris Sabat? You see a hate mob for Vic all the time, but yeah, you don't see one for Chris Sabat despite this. I mean, it's ridiculous. You see what I mean? You see the hypocrisy with this? And it's every time that Vic is going to go to a convention, they go after him. I mean, it's like the 55-year mission tour Star Trek convention, they went after him, and they removed him. This is disgusting stuff that we're seeing here. This should not be happening. Like I said, without concrete evidence to prove that Vic has done any of the things that they say that he has, he's an innocent man. And, I've never seen a single thing. So, he's innocent until proven guilty. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be guilty till proven innocent. It is innocent till proven guilty, and everybody knows that. And there's never been one thing here that has shown that Vic's done any of these terrible things. Now, when you look at Funimation also, because you have to think about this, because Chris Sabat, with Ogretron 5000, Funimation, look at, the Funimation voice actor Chris Thurman. He was somebody, which of course he doesn't work there anymore, but, he claimed responsibility for sending some very explicit photos to an underage fan, and then he admitted to it. It shows you what kind of people Funimation has worked with. And he's not the only person that was in the company that has actually done some things that are very terrible. He's not the only person because they also had another voice actor, which his name was actually Scott Freeman. Some of you may know Scott Freeman as Issei from High School DxD. Well, he was somebody that also worked within Funimation, and for a while, which was kind of funny because while 2014 he had an arrest, apparently he still worked for Funimation supposedly, and he was still in the credits for works throughout 2015. So that's kind of something. Now, of course, he had minor roles going forward, but they continued to have him until people caught wind of what he had done until it became public information. It was out there and people noticed it, and then they put two and two together, and that's when Funimation apparently let him go. But if you'll notice, some of the people that are claiming these things against Vic, well, they're typically the ones that are actually doing it themselves, which is absolutely revolting. And to now see this, they're going after Vic again, and you would think that after he lost the case, which of course is being appealed, but after he lost the case, you would think that they would have just let that one go from there, but instead, they continue to try to let this live on and go after Vic still, even after all of this stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous, and this is how far they'll go to get rid of somebody. This shows you that they will hold on to things to the point where, as I said, what cancel culture has done, I've said this in previous videos, they will keep on until they have made you homeless, made you lose your job, made you lose your family, and they will put you in a box. They will put gasoline on the box, light it on fire, and beat you to death with a baseball bat. That's what they'll do. And then even that will not be enough to them. That will not be satisfying enough to these people. That's how disgusting this is. That's how disgusting cancel culture is and the people that support it. Because they're willing to go that far. It's absolutely atrocious. And, seeing that this has happened to Vic again, since the Star Trek convention that they, kicked him out of, which that was wrong as well. Whenever they had 104 guests lined up, and then they were like, oh no, now we have 103 because they got rid of him also because they were harassed and pressured. And now here we are with SacAnime doing the exact same thing. This man cannot get a break, and they'll never stop. They will never stop trying to go after Vic Mignogna. That's the thing that is just so awful about this. And seeing what SacAnime's done now, expect people to leave the con because there's no way people are going to support it now, knowing that they just went ahead and bent the knee and were like, oh yeah, we gotta totally agree with these big voice actors because that's That's the most important thing when it's actually the fans. They should be thinking the money's going to come in from the fans. And, now they're going to be in a load of trouble because they're going to have less people come now because more people are aware of this going on. And, seeing more cons continue to do this, I mean, it's awful, but it's also not surprising. I mean, it's not surprising to see they do this because many of these cons are bending the knee. They're catering to these big voice actors, the big industry, these managers, they're caving to them. And it's just terrible. This should not be happening. They should not be doing this to Vic. But yet again, here we are with this. And like I said, it feels like it's just a grudge that these voice actors are holding against him to try to, just make sure he doesn't have a career at all whatsoever. And it's absolutely disgusting. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord and Minds. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on both Discord and Minds. The links are in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.